The box and whisker plot to the right shows test scores for 2 classes. The test was out of 55 points. We're doing true and false questions for each of these data sets, so let's take a look. In both classes, 50% of the students got 50 points or higher. Well, remember that each part of a box and whisker plot represents 25%, right? So let's take a look on if that's true. 50 or higher, that one's true, 50%. And then 50 or higher, 50%. Yeah, I would say, 50% of students got 50 points or higher. That's true. I mean, more than 50% here, but yeah, I would say that's true. We could see that at least 50% got 50 points or higher. The median of Class B is less than the median of Class A. Remember, median is right here in the middle. So this would be 50, and this one would be 51. It's saying Class B is less. No, it's more. It's 51, so that's going to be false. The range of Class A is more than Class B. I can see from here the range goes from 47 to 54. And then here it goes from 45 to 55. That one's clearly bigger. I can see from the picture. So that one is going to be false as well. All right, moving on. Clothing store offers a create your own hat deal. Customer can choose one item from each category below. How many different custom hats are possible? Now, we would take our, custom cap, and then we can make different combinations, right? We talk about all the different outcomes. So I can write out all these different outcomes, but I also know how to get my total possible outcomes. I can just multiply each event, right? So the hat would be 3 options, and the color would be 3 options, and the logo would be 3 options, which means there's a total of 27 options, right? If it asks me something more specific, like, what is the probability of getting a baseball cap with a star or something like that, then I might have to write out all the different lists. But right now, since it's just asking how many hats are possible, I can just multiply the different outcomes for each event to get the total. All right, number 13 says 2 photography studios charge a sitting fee plus an hourly rate for photo sessions. Studio A charges, according to the equation, C is the cost, equals 50 plus 25H, which H represents the number of hours. Studio B offers the following price list, and it says which studio charges more per hour and by how much. All right, well, when I'm looking at this key piece right here per hour, we're talking about 1 hour. So I'm going to solve for 1 hour for Studio A. For Studio B, it's already clear to me. It's right here. It's $60 for an hour. But I'm going to figure out what about for Studio A. So I'm just going to plug in 1 in place of hours to find out what is the cost per hour. So for Studio A, it's going to be 50 plus 25H, which H would just be 1, right? So that means it would cost $75 for A, and I know it's $60 for B. So which charges more? It would be A is more, and it says by how much? By $15. All right. This next one says write an equation for the line in slope-intercept form. All right, so I'm going to want to know a few things. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is going to be your slope and b is going to be your y-intercept. So obviously I need to know my slope and my y-intercept. I'm going to start with my y-intercept. If I zoom here, I can see right here, my y-intercept is 2. So it's going to say plus 2 since it's positive 2. And then now I need my slope. Right? I can go from 2 exact points from one point to the other. You can kind of see it already helps you out a little bit here. So I'm going to go rise 1, 2, 3, run 1. So it looks like my slope is going to be 3 over 1 or just 3. Right? I can confirm that right here. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Yep, I could see my slope is 3. So my equation would be y equals 3x plus 2. All right, let's look at this next question. The table below shows the cost of buying a goldfish at a pet store. The cost is a linear function of the number of goldfish. So here it says 4 fish is $2, 8 fish is $4, 12 fish is $6, 16 fish is $8. Which statement describes the rate of change of this function? So the cost increases $1 for every 2 fish added. Let's see if that would be true. So let's say I started with 4. So I started with $2. and then I add another 2 fish, so this is 4 fish. And then that would mean 6 fish is $3, and that 8 fish is $4. That seems like that could work with what we have. It says the cost increases $2 for every 8 fish added. That unit rate would be, $1 per 4 fish, which we know that's not true based on what we just did. The cost increases $4 for every 4 fish. That unit rate would be 1 per fish. Once again, that wouldn't match up because it would have been $4 per 4 fishes then. And then the cost increases 50 cents for every 1 fish added. So every time I add 1 fish, it's 50 cents. If I added 4 fish times 50 cents, that would be $2. So actually, this should be a select all, right? Because in this case, both of these would work. Both D and A would work. The cost increase is $1 for every 2 fish added. So both of those would work. This should have been a select all instead.